pivot to our next topic now, which is Encanto. There has been a song from this movie that has swept the nation. It's getting all kinds of play. I think it was Disney Animation's first #1 on Billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy huge. The song that we're talking about is "We Don't Talk About Bruno." Dre, what are your thoughts on this? Because this is kind of like, it seems like Disney was sort of caught off guard by what a gargantuan hit this song is. What are your thoughts on this in terms of just overall, like, Disney kind of missing the boat? Like, they didn't know what they had, and where are you at?
It's really an interesting story because the film in theaters didn't perform all that well, and yet when it hit Disney Plus, it really did blow up to a considerable extent. So it is one of those things. I think that's why Bob Chapek wants to be flexible with these kind of things going forward, because you just never know what medium is going to actually hit with certain things. And, you know, maybe you have a family film who, hey, you know what, we kind of want to stay in and want to watch it with the kids, versus where you have like a Spider-Man where it's like, hey, you know what, that's a kind of a theatrical kind of film that people will actually go out and see. So it's this interesting interplay going on. But as to the song itself, I mean, I don't know. I kind of have a contrarian take on this. I kind of have a take where it's like, I think maybe they knew that it was going to be successful, and maybe they, I don't know, promoted it via the song and paid for that radio play in order to have it blow up in the way it did. That's kind of my thing, and to get people to go on Disney Plus to actually see it, maybe they worked their magic with radio and Billboard play to actually get it to in that direction. That's kind of how I'm looking at it, because the song is good. I'm not saying it's bad, but, you know, I don't know. I don't know if it's surely organic. I don't know. I might be fully off base here. I might not know what I'm talking about. But Cobb, what do you think about all of this?
I love Bruno. I love this song. It's so weird that this song blew up the way that it did, because I swear, and I have to find this soon, but I had a tweet when before the movie came out, I was already hyped about the movie. I just love Disney. I love animation. So I'm like, this is so cool. I'm just excited to hear the music, yada, yada. So a week before the movie came out, I was listening to the soundtrack, and I think I listened to like each song, and then I posted it on Twitter, like my review or like my thought of the song. And then when it came to the Bruno song, I listened to it in full, and I was immediately hooked. I was like, this song, and if I remember correctly, I tweeted, this song is so different from what Disney has done. I think they have a hit. Something in that order. And then I just bypassed it. I went to something else. Sure. And then the movie comes out. It does okay box office wise. It really bomb. It's just like pandemic wise, it did okay for a pandemic. Then Disney Plus came out. Now, where I feel like this song really blew up was TikTok. TikTok took it right after the movie debuted on Disney Plus. Now you have free access to a movie where kids can watch this over and over. Anybody can watch it for free. It's literally by word of mouth. Did you watch Encanto? Have you seen? Listen to the song. Watch this TikTok. There's certain scenes certain parts of the song that were so catchy that they were like, okay, let's just do what we can with this song. And then I don't know about organic. I'm not sure about organic, but if Disney knew they had a hit on their hands beforehand, even when it was in theaters before Disney Plus, it just wasn't going to do well. So I feel like maybe it did happen organically, because TikTok nowadays can blow anything up.
Yeah,
and that's very true.
When you hear that song, now it makes you curious to be like, okay, I want to watch now let's watch the movie. Kids blew up Frozen, so now this is basically the new Frozen. So, I mean, honestly, I knew it was a hit beforehand, but the way that it blew up, am I really surprised? Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised as hell. Wow. Like, I thought Frozen was going to be Disney's biggest song. I mean, Let It Go.
Let It Go.
And this surpassed Let It Go. It surpassed, A Whole New World, #2, which was like 1992. Like, and for it to be one for almost like 5 weeks.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
That's a significant achievement.
It is. Here's the thing. I think it was. I actually think it was organic, and I actually think it caught Disney by surprise. And the only reason I'm saying that, and because Disney's missed the boat on stuff before, that, like many times, you know. But like, I'm gonna bring up an article. It says here that the Oscar, this is for Bruno, right? Because this is why that the song wasn't nominated in the Oscars. Disney actually didn't submit it.
Yeah, no.
The Oscar submission deadline for this category was the 1st of November, but Encanto wasn't released until 3 weeks later, the 21st of November. Right. And it says here, as a result, Disney were in the position of trying to predict which song of the film would connect the most with the public before any of the public actually saw it. And that kind of shows to me, that whole line right there, the fact that they didn't submit this song kind of shows to me like Disney didn't know. They really did not think that this song was going to be that catch fire song.
Yeah.
And even like, look, I'm surprised too. I got to be completely honest with you, because a lot of the songs, the Disney songs that catch fire, are the songs that sort of like, they kind of have a vague message where you can kind of like apply it to your own life in many ways.
Inspirational type music.
Exactly. So you like a Let It Go, like Kai, you mentioned Let It Go from Frozen. That's a song where like you can listen to a song, not watch the movie, but still get something out of it. Like you can be getting into, like you can be quitting a job that you find toxic, you don't like anymore. You're going to let it go. You're going to move on, right? A relationship that's not working out, you're going to let it go. You're going to move on. Like this is kind of like a very evergreen sort of relatable topic for a song. Whole new world. Same kind of thing. Hey, you're starting a new job. You're starting a new relationship. It's a whole new world. It's relatable, right? You can relate it to just about anything going on in one's life.
And both of those things are very meme-worthy.
Very meme-worthy. Where Bruno, this is why it surprised me that Bruno caught fire like it did. Bruno is a very specific song specifically for the movie. If you listen to the song and you didn't watch the movie, you probably have no idea what
who the hell is Bruno. Exactly. You're dumbfounded. Like, what? Why is this song so big? Also, another thing that nobody really catches, but I've always caught this because I get into weird things like this. But if the movie soundtrack has a song that is done, like it's done by the original singer, and if it's done by somebody else, by like a big time artist, that song is always going to be nominated for an Oscar. They always do that. That's the kind of like the thing that they do. I'm sorry, I couldn't find the word. But if you look at what did you call it? Tale as Old as Time of Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, Beauty and the Beast, yeah.
That was redone by somebody else. Reflections from Mulan. That was done by Christina Aguilera.
Yes.
That went on to go How Far I'll Go. Moana, Alicia Cara redid that song. So it's kind of like same as Let It Go. Demi Lovato sang that song.
Right.
Whenever those songs are redone, those are the songs Disney knows that's gonna be like their top tier, and it's always being redone by somebody famous nowadays because they want that song to blow up because they know that that's gonna be the pivotal song of that movie. So they're always gonna what do you call it? Nominate that, submit that for the Oscar. Same as Dos Oruguitas, that was done by the original guy, but it was redone in English by the same guy. So it was kind of like, right off the bat, I knew that they were going to submit that for an Oscar. They did, but they were expecting that song to kind of blow up, or for that to become the main song, same as like Moana, How Far I Go, Let It Go, Frozen, yada yada. So I picked up on that, and then OG, you're technically right. They didn't know that Bruno was going to be a hit at all, because if that was the case, then they would have definitely submitted that into the for the Oscars, and that's why they performed it at the Oscars, because it's unheard of to perform two songs from the same soundtrack on the same night. Only the songs that are nominated are usually the ones that are performed. I pick up on little stuff like this. So.
Yeah, 100%. That song wasn't even nominated, and yet they performed it. They were caught off guard. They had no idea.
Yep. And they knew it was going to bring in traction. Like, we don't talk about Bruno being performed. Why? What? Everybody's going to tune in. Like, it's just such a smart marketing scheme on the Oscars part because they knew the Oscars were like nobody's watching that. If you're gonna be honest, nobody's watching the Oscars like that. So you get families, adults to watch. We don't talk about Bruno live for the first time. Yeah, come on, it's marketing schemes, actually very smart. But yeah, Disney didn't know. They did not know, and thoroughly surprised.
I guess it's blown up in the country community as well, which is kind of an odd thing for it to be in right there. And look, hey, Disney's on board with this song now. I mean, we're already hearing about it making its debut in Harmonious very soon. Also, we just got an announcement. Yes, they want a. I know we're gonna go off into the parks a little bit, but Harmonious wasn't the smashing success that they kind of felt that it should be, especially for how much they invested. But that's a whole nother story. And so they're already looking at ways to kind of transform it. And yes, we don't talk about Bruno. It's going to be play a huge part in that overall overhaul for that show. But also too, we got the announcement yesterday with Small World and how they're going to be debuting like a little kind of Encanto segment. Featuring that song in particular as part of that whole thing. So I mean they're going full in on it. So it Disney's on board now.
That's their big, literally their big. That's why unfortunately we're talking about the parks. I'm gonna make it short, but Disney knows now how big of a movie Encanto is that they're gonna try to incorporate this movie into the parks finally, and I think it might be faster than Frozen. I think it's a Frozen a couple years in order for it to like be brought into like parades, stuff like that. So they know that it'll be a missed opportunity, especially because how fire it is right now to not add it into the parks. We might even see a ride. I think we're personally gonna see a ride maybe 4 years from now, 4 or 5 years.
I'd be down for that. I mean, and I think the perfect spot to put it, at least in Anaheim, would be California Adventure. California is very, very much influenced on Latin culture, and I think like an Encanto ride, or people even have brought up Coco. I think that's a perfect fit for something like that.
The protagonist from the film from Encanto, it's Maribel, is that correct?
Yes,
the protagonist, Maribel, yeah.
Right, and her meet and greet has just like, dude, it's hard to get in line for that thing and stick around for her to actually see her because it is so long kind of thing. So it's definitely blown up in that way. We're seeing it's the implementation of that film in like the Electrical Parade for its 50th anniversary. A lot of people are like, hey, can we get like an Encanto overlay for Tarzan's Treehouse, and because it's been down for so long, so that's kind of what